Since my new Counter-Strike video is taking a little bit to make, I figured I'd make a little story video to kind of, like, put something in the gap in between, so you guys aren't stuck with, like, 2 weeks without a video. So today we're going to be talking about when I went to a woods party in high school and the police came. So me and my friends were chilling at lunch in the cafeteria. Obviously, we were sitting at the main table that we always sat at. I don't know how you guys did it in your high school, but in my high school, there was always tables where people sat. Like, it's almost like we had seating. At everybody's table, everybody would have the same seat. So every single day, pretty much, given a few people would switch tables, but everybody was in the same seat every day. Right next to us was, like, the table where a bunch of the kids who would, like, party and shit were. And we looked over to them and we were like, yeah, we haven't been to a party in a little bit. Because me and my friends haven't been to a lot of parties at this point. So we were sitting there thinking like, oh, has anybody said they wanted to throw one and this and that? And then we thought, you know, we kind of want to throw one. Let's go over and talk to these kids that like know how to do everything, put everything together, and let's get it all figured out. I forgot who we sent over, but it wasn't me. Somebody went over and started talking with them about it, and they bit. So they figured out a plan with a few of them to go to the spot in the woods. The kids already had a plan. Like, they had a spot where they usually go, and they said, all right, let's just go here. We'll dig out the fire pit, and there's a cool ass tree in the middle that's like super bendy. It looks like Tim Burton. So the plan was literally set in like 15 minutes. They come back and they're like, all right, so we're gonna have a party at blank woods at this time. And I'm like, okay, shit, that was easy. I didn't even have to do anything. So the whole rest of the day, I'm pissed off. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be sitting in school at this point. I know there's going to be a party. I know it's going to be jumping. And I got to sit through English, and then another class after that, and then another class. Like, come on. I'm dragging ass until I'm on the bus. And even on the bus, because I didn't drive yet at this point. The bus ride felt like an hour. Anyways, I get home, and like I mentioned, I'm not driving at this point, so I couldn't drive out to the spot and help them dig it out. But my friends who could drive, they went out, and these people came prepared. They rode out on four-wheelers to the spot, and they dug the shit out, got it all ready, and that was it. It was all set up. They set up coolers, like, it was a good spot. The only thing is it was kind of deep in the woods. So yeah, I'm just sitting there sick as fuck because I can't go out and dig the hole with them and ride on the four-wheelers. I was so mad. So the time comes, and I think I was staying at somebody's house, and we came up in two different vehicles. One of my friends named, let's see, I'm gonna name this guy Lucas. Lucas drove up in his truck. I didn't come with him. He came with his girlfriend, and I think he had two other people. I rode up with a guy named Ned. Yeah, we'll call him Ned. That's good. So Ned had a full car as well. We had like probably 8 people, 7 people, something like that. 2 cars worth. There was like this brand new development, and everything looked the same in there. So we pull up to the development, and we're on the edge of it. Lucas and all the people in his truck got there before us, so they were already at the party. They parked somewhere else. But we parked closest to the entrance to the woods. We all hop out and we start walking down the path that leads to the woods. And we're like, okay, let's stick together and let's find the party, because if we all get lost in the woods, this is not going to be a fun night. So we're walking for like 5 minutes and we get lost. And then 10 minutes go by, and I'm in brush up to my kneecaps, and I'm like, there's no way that I'm not getting poison ivy all over myself. I didn't bring any like nice shoes with me because I knew we were gonna be in the woods, and I figured and I knew that we were gonna have to run from police. So I brought the Vans. I did not care. Them shits were getting trashed. So we're walking for like a bit, and we run into a whole different group of people that we know, and we're like, oh my god, are you lost too? And they have the same exact reaction. We're like, holy shit, why is it so hard to find this party? Let's go this way. And we picked a random direction, and it was the right direction. We started seeing a glow through the trees, started hearing music as you got closer, and then all of a sudden I'm in a movie. Right before the coolest scene in the Friday the 13th movie, where Jason attacks the woods party, I'm there. And there was actually a lot of upperclassmen there. This party was in like spring, so I think it was like one of their final high school parties. That might be why. But there was a decent amount of people. There was probably like 60 or 70 people in the woods. Mad deep with the fire going and the music. Had some beers, had some liquor. I actually walked up to my old plug because he's my old plug now, but he was my current plug at the time. I walked up to him and I'm like, bro, we just rolled a blunt, but we have no lighter. So he's tapping the shit and he hands it back. And then I say, all right, facts, thanks. I'm like, here, I gotta bring this back to my friends, so I'll let you hit it one more time. He taps it, I get it back, and then I go over to my friends, and we're smoking on the blunt. Everything's fine. We're done smoking, and I'm like, you know what? I could probably get a few taps off of his. So I head over, and I'm chilling with him, and I'm like, yo, can I tap that? The shit that he was smoking. Like, he was dual wielding them. He had his shit that he already had, and then I had him light mine, and he was tapping mine. So after I left, he just resumed what he was already smoking. So we're sitting there chiefing, just talking about whatever the fuck we were talking about. This dude was fucking hilarious. He probably had me laughing. But as we're talking, we hear, like, I see a bunch of people turn around real quick and, like, start doing double takes, like they're scared, and I'm like, oh no. And they start running to, like, the darkness in the woods, and then running back, and they're like, oh my god, people are here, people are here. And I'm like, no way, people are here. And then we see flashlights. And me and my plug man, we don't hesitate. We just turn around and start cooking. I hit the jetters, bro. I remember I was trashed at this point. But I remember thinking to myself, I pray, I hope that I don't get Tucker and Daled right now. We're running. I'm keeping up with my plug, but he's got wheels, bro. He must have ran from the cops before, because holy shit. Keep in mind, he didn't put the blunt out. So while he's running, he's just... I can't believe it. He's running through the forest, and I just see the cherry lighting up and going dark. Lighting up, going dark. So a couple of other people were next to us, and they ran with us. They were just behind us. I didn't look, because I was just so focused on running forward. But as I, like, looked behind me to see if anybody was chasing me, I saw two girls. I was like, oh shit, they're with us. And after a bit of running, all of a sudden he starts to, like, get to a jog, and my plug goes, alright, yo, split up and let them run in between us. I'm like, okay. The fuck? Okay, whatever. So we stop, and we go, he goes right, I go left. And they keep sprinting in between us, like, they are going, like, 15 miles an hour, just full sprint. And there is, like, it wasn't quicksand, but, like, a bed of mud. And they're, like, ankle deep. And they get stuck and shit. And, oh my god. He's laughing his ass off. And I'm turning purple. Because I'm nice and I don't want to laugh in their face, but oh my god. They were two girls that only show up to school in Converse, the white Converse, or like white Air Force Ones. So they were busted for school on Monday. They had to buy new pairs. After that, we actually, I can't believe that I came to this. It was like the tutorial level. I'm walking, and there's a tree that fell down onto somebody's back fence, and it's like a ramp, and I literally just walk up it and then drop down. And I'm like, there's no way that's not... That was the perfect exit. Anyways, we hop into their backyard, hop their fence to get to their front yard. And then we're in the development. And I start getting text on my phone, and my phone is blowing up. Come back. There is no cops. Bro, I have no idea where I am right now. And I'm trashed. My phone's on like 20-something%. It's not like I can type the address in of the party in the middle of the woods. And I'm not going to retrace my steps and go back through the ramp, the backyard ramp tree, because I was just running for my life. I wasn't paying attention to what direction I was running in. Keep in mind, I'm still with these 3 other people, and we're all just walking around aimlessly, trying to find Plugman's car. He's gonna take everybody home, but my friends are still there and the party's still going on, and I still have a ride back, so I'm not trying to go back with him. After some walking and texting my friends for a bit, he finds his whip and he leaves. He was down to bring me home, so he's a G for that, but I refused. And I'm calling my friends, trying to fucking... alone at this point, trying to figure out how to get back to this party before my phone dies, because I don't have a charger on me. Due to all the calling and texting and Snapchat, because Snapchat drains your fucking battery, my phone is now dead. So, after that, the real cops showed up. So now the cops are in the development. They're raiding the woods with all my friends in there and everybody else, and I'm safe already. So it worked out good, but I don't know that yet. Also, one of the main reasons why I was running so fucking fast, and then why I dipped first on the false alarm, is because I had a dab pen on me. Where I live, at the time, That was a felony if you got caught with that. And I was not going to get caught with that in high school. That's not happening. Not happening. No felonies on me. So you know I was hitting the jetters on them. They were not touching me. So I'm just walking around with a dead phone trying to find... my main thing that I was trying to find was the car that I arrived in. Because then I can go to the entrance that I came through in and then try and find my way to the party through there because I didn't know it was busted. As I'm walking around in circles because I'm disoriented, I'm drunk. Dude, my spatial awareness was so fucked and I had no GPS. I was done for. And everything in this development looked the same because it was a brand new development. It looked like Whoville. As I'm walking around, I see the lights reflected off the houses. I see the red and blue. And I did the move, bro. I did the move. I was next to a hedge and I dove. I dove into the, not into it, but like over it and behind it. And I just laid there. And I didn't tuck up, but like I covered all of my body so like it was all clothes. And he drove past and I was like, okay, so false alarm was not a false alarm. And then the adrenaline started pumping and I ran and I was ducking in between bushes. And I was ducking in between trees. I remember there was one time, there was actually many times, I would see people running around, like scattering from the party. Like all of a sudden I'd see somebody hop somebody's fence and run across somebody's yard. It was so funny. We were all in the same situation. I was proned out by a tree, right? And about 200 feet away. Yeah, 200 feet probably. I'm looking at people that I know are fiends. It sucks to say, but there's always those people in your school that you just know have, like, bad shit on them. And they're getting talked to by the cops. And I'm like, oh my god, they're going down. But I can't be seen either because I got the dab pen in my pocket. So I'm just chilling. And I'm watching. And I watch them get off the hook. And I'm like, wow, God saved you tonight. I didn't have any interaction with the cops. I was completely stealth, flawless, the whole night. I was just sneaking, going through shit. There were many close calls, though, where I saw, like, a cop coming up the road, and I had to cross the street. That's the scariest. I'm doing all this ninja shit while I'm completely gone. This was back when I had no tolerance, and I had no, like, concept of how much I could drink or smoke. And once I, like, get to a safe point where I'm not, like, hiding from anybody, and I'm like, okay, I can sit here for a second, I think to myself, what if my friends dip without me? And they get scared, and they, like, find the car, and they're like, okay, we gotta go now. And they leave. Like, what if they leave without me? I start scrambling to find a vehicle. It doesn't matter whose. I need to find somebody I know. And as I'm looking, I find Lucas's truck. Parked in a completely different spot from where we are, because they got there before us. And I'm like, oh my god, yes. Yes. All I gotta do is sit at this truck and wait. I'll even hide in the bed all night long until they get here. And then I'm safe. They'll bring me home. I'm good. So I crouch up to it and I'm like, wait. There's somebody in there. There's somebody in his truck. Okay. It's probably him. I can't text him because my phone's dead. I knock on the window and the door opens. And there's 4 people that are not Lucas in his truck. Not one person owned anything in that vehicle. And they're just chilling in there. It's all people from the party and from my school, people that he knows. One of the guys actually helped dig out the shit. And I hopped in. I was so happy, bro. We were all instantly best friends. Like, we were, like, telling war stories about how we got to the truck. We were like, oh my god, bro, what the fuck? This shit's crazy, this, that, and the other. How are we in his truck? Why wasn't he there? Everybody... I don't understand. I was the only one that was, like, that could have rode there with him. Eventually, they find their truck, Lucas and his girl, and the group of people that they were with. And they bring me to Ned's car, the guy that I showed up with. Ned and them, and Michael was there too, and who else was there? Michael was with Ned, and they split off in their own group, and they did their own thing. They have their own story that they can tell about that night. But yeah, Ned, Michael, Lucas, and then another guy that was there, that's one of my friends, that I'll give a name for shits and giggles. Carl. Those 3 dudes that were like my immediate friends, they were in a whole different group and they split off when the actual cops came. They didn't leave at the false alarm, but when the actual cops came, they split off and they went through like a cemetery and they had their own adventure. But yeah, after that, I just hopped in Ned's whip. We went back to whoever's house we were staying at. I don't remember exactly whose, but we were just telling stories about what happened that night, all night long. Hopefully I didn't leave much out. I just wanted to get something out. and I really wanted to tell this story because I like this story. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and don't have the dab pen on you when the woods party gets busted.